Ahoy me niggas. As you can see, today we are back with part 2 of the VALID CRASHOUTS. Now it's been approximately 2 months since the last CRASHOUT video, and in these 2 months I have been searching all over the 7 kingdoms to find the most valid CRASHOUT characters of all time. And today I will present to you my findings. And just to give a quick recap, if you haven't seen the first CRASHOUTS video I made, we have 3 categories for the validity of our CRASHOUTs. We have justified, reasonable, and understandable. So whatever characters I talk about will have to be put into at least one of these 3 categories. So without further yapping, let's get into our first valid CRASHOUT.
I've spent 50 years reliving what they did to her. This is who I am inside.
So I'm sure you're familiar with Shadow the Hedgehog. He is one of the most popular characters within the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. And if you don't know him, he's basically Sonic if he was black. But if you look at his actual backstory in the video games, movies, and comics, he has every reason to crash out in my opinion. So let's get into it. A long time ago, there was a girl named Maria, and she had a life-threatening illness that was progressing very fast. I think it was like space AIDS or something, but I'm not sure. And her grandfather, a man named Gerald Robotnik, decided to make Shadow as a way of helping find the cure. But in order to create Shadow, Gerald had to use illegal alien DNA. This is an important part of the story too. I need y'all niggas to remember this. So after Shadow's creation, he forms a really strong bond with Maria. They are basically best friends and they do everything together. And this is literally the only other person that he can call a friend because everyone else he meets are doctors or scientists. So no one really sees Shadow for who he is, except for Maria. But then the government finds out about Gerald using illegal alien DNA to create Shadow. And y'all know how the government gets when they think you're here illegally. So they immediately send the gun force to destroy and raid the place that Gerald, Shadow, and Maria were living at. So while this is happening, Gerald, Shadow, and Maria are trying to escape, but one of the gun soldiers ended up shooting an explosive tank right next to them. Also wanted to mention, there's 2 different ways this part of the story goes depending on if you're going off of the comics and the video games or going off the movie. But I'm gonna focus on the movie version to make it easier for y'all right now. So unfortunately, Maria Magic Johnson has ended up dying. So now Shadow has lost his best friend and lost his whole purpose of living, which would already put him as a valid crash out in my opinion. But that's enough of the history. Now it's time for the crazy parts. So after this happens, Gerald is blamed for the whole incident and sent to prison. And then Shadow was put in a cryo chamber by gun and taken to a place called Prison Island. And they kept his ass here for 50 years. He was isolated inside that little ass pod for 50 years, bruh. I've seen goldfish with more room than he had in that chamber. But then the prison system he was in ended up getting hacked. So this led to Shadow breaking out, and this nigga Shadow was in full crash out mode. He took out a whole group of gun soldiers immediately after he broke out. And I know this felt good, so I can't even be too mad at him, to be honest. And then he ends up going to Tokyo after taking out the soldiers, and then more gun soldiers pull up on him. And to keep this story short, this is how the city looked after Shadow was done crashing out. Cars flipped, buildings on fire, and basically Tokyo is now looking like the entrance to a Bowser castle. And later Team Sonic pulls up and Shadow continues to crash out and beats the hell out of them. And he continues to crash out for a good chunk of this movie. And to make matters worse, Gerald ends up coming back, and due to Gerald being the only other person Shadow had some sort of bond with, uses Shadow's emotions about Maria to guilt trip him into crashing out even more. He breaks into a government building, then he ends up fighting Sonic again. And he damn near blows up the entire Earth. I don't condone him destroying cities, taking out innocent people, and damn near causing the destruction of the world, but I definitely understand why he crashed out so hard. He was only created to cure Maria's space AIDS, which he never got to do. He wasn't seen as anything more than an alien by most people. He lost the only friend he ever had. He got put in a fish tank for 50 years. Gerald manipulated him by using his emotions over what happened to Maria. And the way Gunn treated him from start to finish was awful. Cause how the hell are you gonna kill his best friend, then put him in jail? Y'all niggas killed her. Shadow didn't even do anything.
I'm like, what he say fuck me for?
He's the victim here and he still got locked up. If my only friend got smoked and the judge sentenced me to 50 years, I'ma crash out too. But luckily for Earth, Shadow does end up having a change of heart and destroys Gerald's plans to blow up the Earth. But I can't lie, he had every reason to crash out. Alright, that was our first crash out. But now it's time to get into the next one. Now, similar to a lot of Crash Out characters, when I first watched Squidward as a kid, I always thought he was mean and very negative, especially the characters like SpongeBob. But the older I got, the more I really understand why Squidward crashed out so much. Because Squidward is stuck in one of the worst emotional cycles I've ever seen. We're gonna call this the Squidward Crash Out cycle. And most episodes that he is in follow this pattern. So let's break down the cycle. So first, Squidward will wake up and start his day. And immediately following that, he has to deal with some bullshit from one of these three people: SpongeBob, Patrick, or Mr. Krabs. And sometimes all three of them. And to top it all off, he lives right in between two of the dumbest, most annoying characters of all time. And these two don't give Squidward a break at all. Sometimes SpongeBob will even break into Squidward's house. He's done this multiple times. SpongeBob will just randomly pop up in Squidward's house unannounced, like it's normal. He even sometimes pops up in the shower. Bro, get out! Also, Squidward has told them multiple times to leave him alone and stop bothering him. And that's the worst part about this cycle that he's stuck in. No matter what he says or what happens to him, nobody takes Squidward serious. He can be put through the worst day of his life and nobody will care what he went through. And it's not like Squidward is super complex. He just wants to enjoy his clarinet, enjoy his art, and enjoy his days off from work. But he doesn't ever get to do any of that because he has to endure complete tomfoolery every single episode. And there's endless episodes of Squidward crashing out, so I decided to put myself in the shoes of Squidward and pick the perfect example to demonstrate this crash out cycle. Now, before we start the episode, I want y'all to know this is all taking place on Sunday, one of the only days Squidward has off from work. So Squidward starts the episode off getting woken up out of his peaceful sleep by SpongeBob's loud ass boat alarm. And before the alarm is even done, SpongeBob is already right inside of his house. And the reason SpongeBob broke into this man's house,
I came to make sure you don't oversleep and miss work.
which you would think SpongeBob would know they don't have work since they work at the same place every day at the same time. So Squidward throws SpongeBob out and tells him to leave him alone. So now Squidward is trying to enjoy his Sunday by relaxing, and so he orders a foot massage. And just as Squidward started to relax, SpongeBob and Patrick appear right behind him and start yelling as loud as they can. And the reason they are yelling is because they have somehow made Squidward their leader for some club they just randomly decided to make. So Squidward tries to send them to paint some trees so they can leave him alone. And when they finish, SpongeBob ends up getting paint right in Squidward's eye. So this leads him to being taken to the hospital by some random couple. And while Squidward is gone, SpongeBob breaks into Squidward's house again, and now they are the ones getting the foot massage that Squidward ordered for himself. So Squidward kicks them out and tells them to not come back.
Gee, Patrick, do you think Squidward was trying to tell us something?
Yes, I was! Yes, I was!
But then Squidward sees a magazine ad for a security system that will keep intruders out of his house. And Squidward is like,
damn, what is that, bro?
and when he installs it, SpongeBob and Patrick enter his house immediately. And they brought a cake with them this time too for some reason. So now Squidward is pissed because the alarm system didn't detect them. So he starts punching the alarm system, which makes the alarm system think he's the intruder and then shoots him. Then his own house kicks him out and starts terrorizing the city.
12 seconds later.
They make the house come back and land right where Squidward was laying down. Now we're at the end of the cycle where Squidward finally crashes out.
Mr. President, look, we just wanted to
Get out of my house!
But now the police and an angry mob of people are waiting outside for him. And turns out that his house caused so much damage that he has to do community service every Sunday for the rest of his life.
You'll be doing community service every Sunday for the rest of your life.
Is this nigga serious?
And all of this happened because SpongeBob and Patrick's dumbasses wouldn't leave him alone. And then we get the icing on the cake.
You got one of those too? This'll be great! The three of us cleaning up Bikini Bottom.
Y'all can't tell me this isn't Crash Out worthy. And you would think SpongeBob and Patrick would eventually understand that Squidward just wants to be left alone, but they damn near annoy him every single episode. He never really leaves the cycle. He just has to endure it every day. Alright, now it's time for the next Crash Out.
Give me your eye, or I will take it, bastard! not in my hall!
Now, as a proud member of Team Black and a supporter of Queen Rhaenyra, having to include Aemond on this video doesn't sit too well with me. But I'd be lying my ass off if I said that this man right here doesn't have some valid reasons to crash out. And I think a lot of people look at Aemond and see how mean and cruel he is later on, which I agree, he definitely is. But if you look at his backstory, especially in the House of the Dragon TV show, you can easily see why he became such a crash out. So let's get into it. So when we first see Aemond, he's pretty laid back and to himself. But one thing that stands out is he is one of the only members of the royal family that doesn't have a dragon. His brother has one, his sister has one, and just about his whole family has a dragon besides him. And this is where we see the first instance of some mistreatment towards Aemond. So the other kids decide to prank Aemond, and they tell him that they found a dragon for him to claim. And of course, Aemond is optimistic about this, since he's been wanting a dragon for some time now. And when they show him the dragon they found, it turned out to be a pig with wings on it.
Ain't no way! Boy, I wanna beat this motherfucker!
So they all set this up just to prank him. So this pisses Aemond off big time, because these are his own family members and his own brother pranking him about something that he's very sad about already. And they are all just laughing their asses off and he's just sitting there. So fast forward a little bit, they're at a funeral for Laena, and due to her dying, her dragon is left unclaimed. And Laena had one of the biggest dragons currently on Earth, Vhagar. So Aemond ended up sneaking out after the funeral, and since Vhagar is unclaimed and he has no dragon, Aemond was like,
oh, shit, like.
So he gets on Vhagar and actually manages to win the dragon over and claim it. So now this kid has the biggest, most powerful dragon on the planet, which I think is a pretty deserving reward considering he never got a dragon. But then he gets confronted by the daughters of Laena, and they are pissed that he claimed their dead mom's dragon. And I do understand why they were mad, because the funeral was hours ago and he already hopped on the dragon and claimed her. But in all fairness, there's not really rules to claiming dragons. If the dragon likes you, then it's fair game. But they not trying to hear that. So they end up trying to fight him over it, and then it becomes a 4v1 fight with his own family members. And not gonna lie, Aemond was holding his own during this fight. I can't even hate on him. Cause if I'm in this same situation and it's a 4v1 and I got a dragon outside, y'all niggas are getting cooked, literally. But then they all start jumping him, and this is where he calls Lucerys a bastard. And then he picks up a rock to even the playing field, which once again I think is a valid play. I mean, the name calling might have been a little much, but he was getting jumped. But then he gets sand thrown in his eye, and then he gets his eye slashed by a knife. And as you can probably guess, his eye is done. There's no reversing this action. So at this point, we have a couple major factors leading into his crash outs. He was constantly bullied by his own family. He never got a dragon. And then when he did get a dragon, he got jumped for it and then lost his eye. So then the adults finally intervene. And this is one of the most heated scenes in this show. The whole house was mad. And you think that they would try to get to the bottom of what happened to his eye. But they aren't even worried about that. His own dad only cares about the fact that he called Lucerys a bastard. This is his own dad looking him in his singular eye and not worried about what happened to him.
Don't care, don't care, don't care, still don't care. I don't care, I don't.
Alicent, which is his mom, is the only one that cares about what happened to him. And she's trying to get it back in blood too.
I shall have one of her son's eyes in return.
What did he say?
And even when he grows up, he is still mistreated by his own brother and always in the shadow of both of his siblings, due to his brother being the king and his sister being the queen. And his brother is doing a terrible job at king. He don't know the language, he's always drunk, and he's really just not cut out for this position. And Aemond sees this, and so do a lot of other people, but there's nothing he can do about it. Which leads him to eventually become the crash out he's known as today. Cause not gonna lie, after all this, he starts crashing out hard. He ends up making Vhagar eat his nephew, he damn near kills his own brother, and then starts burning random villages out of anger. So honestly, I think I'm gonna have to put him in two spots, understandable and reasonable. Cause I think it's reasonable to want to crash out after being bullied your entire childhood, finally getting a dragon, then you can't even enjoy that cause 4 of your family members want to jump you. Then you end up losing your eye and nobody cares about you or what happened for the rest of your life. And then I think it's also understandable because the people he crashed out on were major factors in his childhood and adult trauma. But I don't agree with him killing people, obviously, but I do understand why he did what he did. Alright, now it's time for our last valid crash out. Now, funny enough, this is one of me and my grandma's favorite characters, so I felt it was only right that I include Optimus Prime on this video. So grandma, if you see this, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you know I love you and can't wait to eat whatever you're bringing to Thanksgiving, because I'm already knowing I'm gonna need 8 plates of it. But let's get into it. So the crazy thing about Optimus is that he isn't evil at all, but in the Bayverse Transformers movies, this nigga is unhinged as hell. But I still think that he has every reason to be unhinged and crash out as much as he does. So when we first see Optimus in the 2007 Transformers movie, he's not a crash out at all. He's actually really nice to not only the Autobots but also the humans. The only time he really crashes out is when he sees a Decepticon or his arch nemesis Megatron. But in this movie there are 2 major things that happen that I would say are very important into leading to his eventual crash outs. The first one is that he meets Sam Witwicky, who is the main character of this movie as well as an important person throughout this entire series. And due to Sam already knowing about Bumblebee, he understands what Optimus is and also really respects him overall. So he ends up forming a decent bond with Sam that will come into play later. And the second major thing is that his Autobot friend Jazz ends up dying. And Jazz got done so bad. He literally got ripped in half like he was nothing. I swear, it don't matter the universe. They gonna do the black characters the worst. And he was a clanker too. Yeah, I knew his screen time wasn't going to be long even as a kid, because there's not a lot of Autobots left from Cybertron at this point. The crew is extremely small. It's only 5 Autobots during this time: Optimus, Jazz, Ironhide, Ratchet, and Bumblebee. And I guess we could throw Sam in there too, since he's usually with him now. So the fact that Optimus lost his first lieutenant and one of his only friends at the time definitely played a part in turning Optimus into the unhinged 18-wheeler that he later on becomes. So now we move on to the second movie, and this is where we really start to see Optimus change. So during this movie, a Decepticon leaves a message for Optimus saying,
Fallen shall rise again.
What do you mean by that?
and this leads Optimus to try to get Sam's help finding a fragment that can stop all of this from happening. And the reason Optimus asks Sam is because Sam is the only human he can trust right now. But at this point in Sam's life, he's in college and pursuing other things. So he ends up ignoring Optimus and not believing anything Optimus is saying, which pisses off Optimus big time.
What a nigga got to tell me? How the fuck is you gonna tell me about some shit you ain't never seen, bitch ass nigga?
Because there's no other humans he can really talk to about this stuff, and he doesn't want the Decepticons coming back either.
12 seconds later.
The Decepticons end up coming back, capturing Sam, and Optimus has to risk his life to save him. I actually covered this fight when I made my channel, so if y'all want to watch this scene, go tap in with that. So Optimus had to fight 3 Decepticons by himself, and this wouldn't have happened if Sam's ass would have stopped trying to crack his AI girlfriend and just listened to Prime in the first place. And Optimus ends up getting packed up too. So at this point we have 3 major contributors to the lead up of Optimus's eventual crash outs: Jazz dying, Sam not listening, and him getting jumped to death by his biggest ops. And this is where we see his first crash out. So they end up reviving him and giving him an outfit upgrade. And normally Optimus would give a speech or do some cinematic monologue looking off into the sunset, but he doesn't say one thing. He just flies off and instantly starts boxing the Decepticons. And he's doing these niggas so dirty. Even Megatron wasn't trying to run the fade anymore. His ass was scared of Optimus too. And I get it, because if I saw someone rip out another person's heart right in front of me, you got it, bro. I'm signing up to be an Autobot immediately. And this is also where Megatron realizes that Optimus is crazy as hell. Because every other time they meet after this movie, Megatron is like,
He hit me so hard my software started updating. Nigga knocked me into iOS 18. We can't even jump him. It's gonna turn into a group funeral. I hit this nigga with my strongest blast. I don't even think I made him use his windshield wipers.
But now we're on to the third movie, and not gonna lie, this is where Optimus becomes a full-fledged member of the Robot Crash Out All-Star team. So to start this movie, Optimus finds another Decepticon hidden on Earth. And y'all know how the Cybertronian gang beef goes. So this immediately pissed off Optimus. And then to make matters worse, it turns out the government has been lying to him and hiding the fact that there are other Autobots on Earth. And I don't know why they did this to my nigga Optimus, because he's the leader of the Autobots and has been looking for his friends since he got there. And they've known about this for years and didn't tell them. So Optimus goes to retrieve an Autobot named Sentinel Prime. This is basically Optimus Prime's OG. That's like his big bro back on Cybertron. They got a secret handshake and everything. So when they linked up, Optimus thought it was finna be a great time. But then Sentinel ended up not only betraying Optimus, but also killing Ironhide. And before we continue, Ironhide is also another black character. I just wanted to throw that in there because I'm starting to find this a little suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious?
But yeah, so Sentinel betrayed Optimus and packed up one of Optimus's closest friends. So as y'all can see, the events causing Optimus to become a crash out are getting pretty outrageous. But don't worry, there's still more stuff that happens. So after all this, Optimus and the Autobot crew get deported and exiled from Earth, and all the Decepticons take over the city. And mind you, these Autobots spent years protecting Earth, and now not only did his OG betray him, but the humans that he risked his life for countless times also switched up on him too. And this causes Sam to start tripping. And I don't know why he tripping now. If his ass would have locked in during the second movie, we wouldn't be here right now. But Optimus does end up coming back, and this nigga is in full crash out mode.
We will kill them all. We will kill them all.
As soon as he steps on the scene, he starts destroying everything in his way. And I can't blame him one bit. Optimus has been through literal hell and back, and now he still has to save the day again. And during this, Megatron is not trying to fight him at all. He heard Optimus was still alive and started having flashbacks to the second movie. But then Optimus and OG Prime start boxing, and Megatron comes to try to help Optimus. Nigga's so scared he switched sides. But Optimus not trying to hear nothing Megatron gotta say. He ends up annihilating Megatron and OG Prime. And I can't lie, this was peak cinema. The get back was phenomenal. He did all this with one hand, by the way. I'm gonna cover this fight on my channel eventually. But now it's time for the final chapter in Optimus Prime's crash out journey. So now we're on to the fourth movie. And at this point in the story, the Transformers are hated by everyone. All the robots have been deemed enemies of the state. There's hella posters being put up, and any Autobot that is found is supposed to be terminated on the spot. It's to the point where people are looking at every car like this, just in case it's a Transformer. Niggas can't even trust their air fryer right now. So in typical fashion, Optimus ends up having to save the day when an innocent girl is held at gunpoint. And shortly after that, the government shows a video of Optimus's friend Ratchet getting killed. And Ratchet has been with Optimus since they was on Cybertron. So the fact that they killed his day one homie and then recorded it sent him into unspeakable levels of rage. He ends up busting into the building where they have Ratchet's body, and him and the Autobot gang are going crazy. They shoot up the place and destroying the whole building. And Optimus damn near takes this man's life. And to make all this worse, they also use Megatron's body to recreate another evil robot named Galvatron.
He got that shit on though.
So just when Optimus thought his arch nemesis was gone, he ends up coming back fully upgraded, and he got a crew with him too. So as you can guess, this leads Optimus to crashing out again. He goes to get literal dinosaurs to pack up these new evil robots. And that Megatron DNA is still inside Galvatron because he sees Optimus doing all of this and he already knows to run away. And there is another movie after this, but that one's kind of trash. So yeah, I think that's why I would put Optimus as a valid crash out. I'm gonna put him in the justified category. But he low-key could be put in all of these, to be honest. But I think he fits here the best. He lost so many friends along the way and was never respected by the humans that he literally sacrificed his life for multiple times. And if I put myself in his big ass robot shoes, I'd be crashing out too. I saved y'all countless times and y'all still acting like I'm the threat. They couldn't even give the Autobots a private garage or anything. Them niggas just had to hide in plain sight. So to recap every reason why Optimus was a valid crash out: he lost his friend Jazz, Sam didn't listen, the Decepticons came back, he got jumped, the government lied to him, OG Prime switched up on him, Ironhide died, Decepticons took over, he was exiled from Earth, he lost an arm, Autobots were the enemies of the state, he lost Ratchet, Megatron came back as Galvatron, and he never got the respect that he deserved after everything he did for the world. So yeah, that concludes today's Yap session. I hope y'all learned something new today, but I'm tired of talking to y'all niggas. Cue my outro music.